Hi, welcome, welcome. I am so glad you're here. You're here to watch some Create with Kelly time. We're going to make our last in the series of the Ginkgo branch. It's actually, I called my class the Gorgeous Ginkgo because it really is. I was so sad to see that this was retiring, but I am thrilled that you're here with me today, whether you're watching live. I'm just happy to have you here. We are going to have fun today. I'm going to play a little bit with some blending brushes. I've already cut out the detailed dies, so try, but decided I better not. I better just stick with the plan. So let me know if you're here. Let me check the comments. Hi, Kathy Winters. Nice to from the Ginkgo branch set. I'll hold that up just a sec. We're going to see if while ago the camera was just switching on and off, and I thought I had already lost the live before today. But I am thrilled that you're here, like I said, and please leave a comment. And if you have not yet done so, whenever let's get this up so you know exactly what to do here. If you are on Facebook, if you'll just everything will show up and just show me Facebook user unless you go to streamyard.com/Facebook, and that way you give StreamYard permission to do that so I know who's watching besides Kathy. All right, let's see. We're gonna get that off, and I do have a host code here on the bottom left. If you are interested in ordering, we do have the last chance products list is going. So there are a lot of supplies that are on there. Cardstocks, inks, all that in retiring colors, the designer series paper. There's a whole lot of stamp sets retiring, and a lot of them are up to 60% off, which is amazing. So be sure if you are ordering something, if you want to get like the Ginkgo bundle that we're using today, don't. Well, it seems like my camera is behind. Are you having trouble seeing this, Kathy? It just seems to be switching over. Interested in the Ginkgo branch dies and the Ginkgo branch stamp set that we're using today, be sure and order those separately because they are each 60% off right now, which is a woohoo heck of a deal. And if they still have them, I didn't check this morning to see if they were still available, but hopefully they are. And they make such beautiful, they make sympathy cards. They can be happy birthday. They can be all kinds of sentiments you can use and combine with these gorgeous images. And if you haven't seen my other videos on the other, I've done 6 other cards with this. I think today is our 7th one. So happy to have y'all join for that. All right. So be sure, like I said, to shop, you can look for last chance products and it'll show you what is on sale and all that. So first, and then the new catalog, that's the annual catalog 23-24, will be starting on May 2nd for customers. So that'll be fun to get to play with new products and new colors and all that. If you have any questions, let me know. And you might want to check with me before you place your order just to make sure you're maximizing your value. So I want to make sure and help you out there. But if your order is under 150, if you'll please use my host code. And if your order is close to 100, you might as well sign up as a demonstrator. So I can give you those tips too. Just let me know what you're interested in. Just a sec, we'll switch the camera to only, wrong one. There we go. I think we're ready. We're going to, and if you're interested in these products, 160463 is the are beautiful. They have two different dies that cut out that we're going to be using today on this card that are independent of the stamp set. The other dies, well, three actually, because the label we're going to use, and then we're going to use the smaller die like this, which I'll show you in a minute. And then these actually cut out. We've got a mint macaron card base, and that is 5.5 by 8.5. I'm hoping. I grabbed one that was already scored. Camera is just acting up. Let me know, Kathy, if you're still there and having trouble. I don't know what all this jicky little movement is. Let me see which Wi-Fi I'm on. Yeah, I'm on the right one. It's just not looking right. Okay. I don't know. Don't know what to change here. We'll go this way. It helps. It makes me feel like I'm closer to you if I'm able to. That's why I've got my picture a little over here so y'all can see I'm a real person. Good morning, Facebook user. I'm happy to have you on. We've got, as I said, the 8.5 by, or I think I said 5.5 by 8.5 score. I know I have this written, but this is just about as easy. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, I believe. Yep, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and that's what we're using on the front. I'm just going to take a quick punch out of here that I'm not going to use on this card today, but I can't bear to waste cardstock like that. So I meant to die cut. I recommend, if y'all are doing that class to go, and sorry that's loud, probably from that microphone. We'll just use these on something else. But if you will take, I think on my class to go kit, I did mention, it's just been a while since I've done that, that you can cut your ginkgo dies out of this piece. I have already cut a soft seafoam set. This is from the big die, and then there's the little die. So I've got soft seafoam cut out that we're going to play with, and I've got Pool Party, and these are just 3.5. You can do 5 1/4 or 5.5, whatever, but you only need a 3.5. You just have to arrange it a certain way to get that to work. So we've got that already pre-cut in Pool Party. I've got a big one and a little one. We want options here on how to arrange everything. So I'm just going to pull all those out, put them in a little pile here. Here's the mint macaron. So we've got the small and the large die. And I'm going to pull this aside real quick and show you how easy it is. I would run your die through twice. And like I said, I put the big one and the small one on the same sheet of paper and ran those through. And then if you'll use the little ejection holes, some of them are ejection holes that help you push the paper out. And then some of them are actually pushing out the little piece that's in between that you don't need anymore. And I should have been doing that over a little piece of paper instead of over my desktop, so I didn't have a mess, but there you go. And some people it's kind of fashionable these days to leave some of the little pieces in. But on this particular one, I really like them all out. So I've done it both ways on several of my cards. So y'all can check those out and see which way you like it best on which card design. But since this is featuring those detailed dies, I like that punching all those out. Okay, we're going to take our, so we'll move the die, put that back in before I lose it. I have already lost a stamp out of a brand new set that I just got. So if anybody here is in the Lubbock area and you have the tropical leaf bundle, I would really love to borrow the big stamp in there that matches the punch. I've got a swap coming up on Tuesday night and I cannot find that stamp for anything. Do y'all ever lose something like that? I mean, it could be stuck to anything. A clear photopolymer stamp could just be anywhere. So I am searching for that. Okay. But like I said, you'll use, if you bought the Class-to-go, you'll have 2 pieces of the soft sea foam in the size I gave you, 3, I believe it was 3 7/8, right? By 5 1/8. I think so. You'll cut out your die out of that one. I just forgot earlier. All right, so we've got our evening evergreen piece, and it is just a tiny bit smaller than the other one. So it is 3 3/4 by 5. So you've got 1/8 inch border all the way around on here. And we can go ahead and glue this down or to the card base, or whichever way you want to do it is fine. So we're going to get a little scratch paper right here and put that out, because it was fussy with our grid paper last time. So I'm just going to use the white paper here. We'll grab our glue. You can use liquid glue. You can use your seal, whichever way you want to do it. Okay. I guess I'm going to go ahead and glue this. Then I might waste the card base if I mess something up, but I don't think so. Whoops. That is a little bit. I think we won't. I think we're going to glue everything first to the green. That's the way I think I'm going to do it. I can go ahead and glue that down since I've got a big old glob of glue there. A little too much excess liquid glue, and I just have these in a little bottle with a little smaller tip, so it's easier to manage. So I am just centering this. I really tried it a couple of different ways, but I liked having the border. I liked having a larger border around here. So that part's not going to show there. So we're going to set that aside, get out our silicone mat that we should have had earlier so we didn't have glue everywhere. Do as I say, not as I do. You know how that saying goes. Okay, and this card is going to kind of look like it is inlaid. And I thought about doing that, going ahead and cutting out, die cutting out of the green and then trying to put this in position. But I was afraid that would be a little too tough on the air. So, hello, Claire. Glad you're here. Yes, I lose things a lot too. So I get it. I appreciate it. I didn't put y'all up here. Facebook user and Kathy Winters. So glad y'all are here. If y'all have any questions, be sure to let me know. I'll try to watch the comments. Okay. So we're going to, instead of putting this onto, going ahead and putting it on the card, since we're going to have these pieces hanging over, we're going to glue these. We're going to figure out a pattern that we like. We're going to glue these and then cut on the edges. That's why I didn't do that earlier. Why I didn't want to glue that down. I don't know if I made that plain. All right. Hope y'all are having a good week and good weekend. Before we start gluing these, I'm going to show you, it may take up just a little bit, but I think it'll be worth it. We will, and I think I'm going to get me off of here. So we're going to do that so that y'all can really see the detail here. We're going to use these small blending brushes, which are wonderful for these small areas like this. And all I did was a tone on tone. This is the soft sea foam. So I'm going to take the soft sea foam piece here, and we're going to, you always really rub this off and make sure you don't have any other color on it that's residual from when you've used it previously. Tap on here, and you're going to tap all that yucky stuff off. So you can see how that makes a smudgy look. We don't want that on here. So we're going to go just from the base of this and give it a little bit of color on those that have the definition. It already has a beautiful definition in those dyes. So you can see, can you see the detailed difference there? In these that have a little bit of that, how it goes into those lines that are embossed into the dye. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my, I love these. And they work in so many different colors. They're really pretty. But I'm just kind of going on the base of each little blossom or flower or whatever they're called. I'm not a ginkgo expert, so I don't know about that. But there we go. So we've got some color there. I'm going to color these stems a little bit. I don't know which areas we're going to use on each one. So I'm just going to totally color each one, just tone on tone, which means I'm using soft sea foam ink on the soft sea foam cardstock, etc. Okay, we don't have to have a ton there. All right, and then also I'm going to set that aside, and then while we're at it, for the inside piece, I'll show you what we're going to do here. It really makes such a difference to use the blends on the inside here with a little bit. I've used, I think, a little bit in here, and then I've used a little bit along the edges here. So we're going to do that really quickly. And this you could use a big brush for. You don't have to have the little one for this, but boy, it makes a big difference on the detail if you'll use the small brushes on little bitty detail dies. And you can tell I was looking at the glue there. We're going to use our do-over side. See if we like this one better. But always tap off and then come in from the edge and work in a circular motion if you can. It's a little more difficult on those little dies that we were just doing, but definitely on a piece of paper like this. On your cardstock, you can come in from the side and try not to rush. You know, it's really kind of fun to do it if you're not on camera and thinking everybody's going to get bored. Hope y'all aren't bored. But I do have this blog post already posted online on, I believe it's March 26th at mycreatewithkelly.com. So if you want to see all the measurements and everything, that's on there. And then, of course, everybody who bought the bundle from me earlier and bought the class, or just bought the class, y'all have everything in a nice, neat PDF tutorial form, which I do sell that tutorial. It's $20 for the PDF tutorial. Y'all can send me an email at kelly@createwithkelly.com, and I'll send you the link for that and a PayPal invoice, and easy, and then I'll email it right to you. Okay, so we've got that piece done. Now we're going to switch to our mint macaron color, or we could do pool party, either way. And I think I switched my brushes there. Dang it. I'm going to use that for pool party, I think. Because this one is more of a dark green. Yeah, should have used that for green. Okay, we'll use that for mint macaron. And the mint macaron is one of those colors that's retiring. I was honestly not a big fan of mint macaron when it came out. But then I really learned to use it a lot. Surprisingly. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to get my big brush for that. So this is the difference, the size difference in the brushes, if you haven't tried these yet. And they are little bitty fine bristles. It's not a foam like you would think. It's individual bristles like you would have on a makeup brush. Let's see how this green works here. Get all the yucky off. Sorry, I'm shaking the table here. Didn't think about that. That's still got a lot of other green in it. Okay, we'll go back to this one. Doesn't have as much. Okay, trying to get this where y'all can see here all the fun we're having. Okay, mint macaron, tap, tap, tap. And we're going to go just kind of around this side. We on screen there. Anybody have anything going on this weekend? I know several of y'all who live in the Lubbock area are going to come to a techniques class tomorrow. Yay. That's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know yet what it's going to be. I'm going to be working on that this afternoon. Got a lot going on. I have an intermediate type class on Monday night at 6. So I've got several of y'all who are coming to that. And then on Tuesday night, we've got a team meeting, all of it Stampin' Up! In case y'all, anybody watching is not familiar. We do have, it's a direct marketing company. So we do have teams of people who work with us. And I have an awesome group of team members. And mostly we just have hobby demonstrators who just want to sign up and do it for the discount, which is awesome. Because you get a 20% discount off of your items as long as you meet a minimum, which is not really hard to meet if you're addicted to Stampin' Up! Products like a lot of us are. So it's a lot of fun. We get to, as team members, we've already seen all the new products. We've got the new catalogs. We get to order early and all that. So there's a lot of perks for demonstrators. So if you are already spending a little bit each month, you might want to look at that. I would love to have you join my team. Okay, we're going to go a little more of the mint macaron. We're going to do that on the mint macaron piece. So we're continuing with the tone on tone technique. Really sticking to mostly the base of the blossoms like we did before on the soft sea foam. Kind of getting some subtle variation between all those. Trying not to do each one of them the same. Okay, a little bit more at the base, just right there. But you can see how much easier it is with these little bitty brushes. You have a lot more control over smaller areas. It's nice to have the big ones when you've got a big area. You can cover it quickly. Okay, there's our mint macaron. Now we're on to our pool party. Whoops, we got one more. Let's see which one of these is the mint macaron. I cut some of these accidentally, I think, out of soft succulent, but I think that's one. Are y'all sad that, or do you have some favorite colors that are retiring that y'all need to get ink pads or ink refills or cardstock or anything to go with? You just have a little bit longer to do that through May 1st. So we just had a big free shipping day the other day. So I think they are finally getting caught up with shipping. I think they had a huge day when demonstrators could place our pre-orders. I think it might have been Stampin' Up's biggest day. So that tells you all this catalog is going to be awesome. You're going to like it. Okay, now we're going back to this lighter one that we did soft sea foam. We're going to use it for pool party. And you can wash these brushes, of course, but I'm trying to get enough of the brushes where I have like a light green, dark green, light blue, dark blue, like that. So eventually I'll have a large and a small for each kind of color group. Okay, now we're off with the pool party. I've always loved pool party. I love pool party and Coastal Cabana. I hate that we're losing Bermuda Bay. That's one of the ones that's retiring that I'm really going to miss. But I didn't use it a ton, but sometimes it was just the perfect color to use. And it was really pretty with the pool party and Coastal Cabana. But we have some new pretty colors coming in. And then we also have some returning favorites that I used to love. Lemon Lime Twist and Berry Burst, especially together, they're going to be fun to play with. Of course, I'm a Brights girl, as y'all know. If you've been watching my channel and watch my style. Okay. Oops, we got to do the little one. Don't forget, Kelly. Hi, Felicia. I'm so glad you've joined us. Good morning, good morning. Glad you're here. We're doing the detailed, I'm not sure if you just popped on just now, Felicia, but if you did, this is the one we're doing right now, is the one with the detailed ginkgo dies. And we're going to do this little bitty one, and we shall move on. And I could have done adhesive sheets on the back of these, but I just didn't get that done. I didn't think about it in time, of course, on this time, because initially when I did the card, I thought I might leave part of them sticking up, and you can't really do that if you've got the adhesive sheets on there. But I did end up putting them down, so I could have used it for this. All right, we've got a messy spot now, don't we? Okay, now we're going to take our little evergreen piece and we're going to lay these out. See if I can get that so you can see a little better. I think my phone, I hate to touch anything with the dang internet cutting out. So we'll just leave it and I'll try to adjust there. Okay, so what I did on this one, I just kind of laid them in sideways and kind of alternated the colors. I used less of the mint macaron color because I do have the mint macaron background. Okay, so I'm going to put us back up here so I feel like I can talk to you still. There we go. All right, let's start. I'm just going to do kind of like I did before. I like that with the pool party. And if you are smart and plan ahead and do several of these, I would use an adhesive sheet ahead of time. But I had Arts Festival all last weekend, which was an awesome, totally exhausting, but fun and rewarding weekend. We set up the booth on Thursday night or Thursday afternoon, and I shared the booth with another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here, Sharon McCartney, and one of her team members, Tammy, helped. And then I had Jennifer Hernandez, one of my team members, helped, and also Eileen Cowart. She was a team member there. And everybody kind of took shifts with me. So it was great. And then Phyllis Underwood and Robbie Appling both helped for a shift also. So they were great. Phyllis works with LISD and she is great with the kids. And everybody was just great. We had a lot of moms and kids and grandmothers with their kids and a lot of little crafty ladies. I don't know how many cards we made. Probably 75 to 100 on our side. And then probably Sharon did close to that many. I don't know. Didn't really count kits like I should have. Whoops. And I probably should not have done that whole thing, all the green, if I had been thinking and not talking, but it's hard to talk and glue and and think all at the same time. Y'all give me a break, will you? Okay. All right, we're gonna put that on. I definitely want a different color in the corner, and these are just gonna kind of come close to the edge. I think, well, that's where it's gonna go now. I don't want to spread the glue anymore. All right, now we're gonna put a teeny bit of the soft sea foam. We're gonna kind of go a different angle on it. I think I'm going to do a little less of that. Okay, so I don't need the back part. We're just going to do this top part right now so that when we cut that off, we can then glue that somewhere else. So you're not wasting all these off the edges. You get to use them in different places. But there were thousands of people at that arts festival. I mean, it was crazy busy all day long. All day. I was there Friday night. We had premiere night for a couple of hours, and then we were there from 10 to 5 on Saturday, and then noon to 5 on Sunday. So there were a lot of people sitting in our little booth making cards. It was a lot of fun. But it wears you out bending over and kind of, I don't know why, it just feels like you need to bend over and help somebody that's on the other side of the booth instead of sitting across from them. We discovered that was easier to do that, definitely. Okay, now I'm going to stick this in. I don't want a big gap, but we're going to have our greeting kind of in that area, so that'll be fine. Or we could do this. I think we want more soft sea foam here. I use a little bit from this smaller die up here. So this is just called auditioning your pieces to see how you think they're going to lay best or fit best. Okay, we're going to just do this top half. I'm kind of covering up what I don't want to glue. And then just kind of, you don't have to have a glue in every single little bitty spot because they'll stay down just fine. All right. But the Arts Festival is just a huge event every year that attracts a ton of people. And I mean, we had beautiful, perfect weather too, which helps people get out. If it's really too dusty and windy or rainy or cool or anything, people don't get out as much. But I mean, this was perfect weather for this one. So we had big crowds. We had artists who were sculptors and painters, and can't seem to get that where it's straight like I want it. Sculptors, painters, and of course card makers. We had a pottery guy that was right across from us. It was a lot of fun. Oh, thanks, Felicia. I really appreciate the confidence in my work and appreciation. That's great. Anybody else been doing anything? Y'all can chat amongst yourselves. You don't have to just wait until I comment back. All right, we're going to use a little bit, you can see, of that smaller die here. So this is, you're not going to want to make 100 of these, I'll tell you. But for someone special, they will really appreciate the efforts. I am sure of it. Okay, let's go back to a little pool party. And that looks like that's going to work right there just fine. Sorry, I've got a lot going on there, but I think y'all can tell what I'm working on, hopefully. Just little bits and pieces of glue. You don't want huge globs. That was a little bit huge glob right there. Okay, let's see how we want that one. We don't have one really straight up, so whoop. Get your fingers out of the way, Kelly. Do y'all talk to yourselves like I do? Okay, looks like those are all stuck. Now we're gonna just flip it over, grab our paper snips, snip those off the edges, and just go right up next to that edge. And some of these, like this little part, we'll probably throw away, but a lot of these we'll be able to use either on the inside, or you can use pieces on another card like this. So all of those, again, were Pool Party, Mint Macaron, Soft Sea Foam, and then the base is Evening Evergreen. So Evening Evergreen is retiring, and so is the Mint Macaron. The Pool Party and the Soft Sea Foam will be staying in the new catalog. All right, let me see what else we've got going on here. I think we're going to use some Wink of Stella. I may go ahead and splatter that a little. Since I have some messy glue, I think that will help disguise it a bit. Let's grab the Wink of Stella. Let me think here. Where that might be. And I think this is the fresher one. Looks like. Let's see if I can squeeze a little bit out. Not much in the barrel, but some. Can y'all tell what I'm doing? Just whacking this against my bone folder. You could use a ink pen, anything, whatever you've got handy that you can do this with. And I should be putting this, I usually put it in a little box or something, so I'm not splattering my work surface, but we're getting close and trying to contain it that way. All right, can y'all see how that gave it some little splatters? And now hopefully all those little glue spots in the background will just look like it was intentional, because it was, right? Yeah, we wanted to do that. Got one little ornery piece here. I'm going to stick just a teeny bit of glue here behind that one. Try to. Hold that down. Okay, we've got a little bit up here that didn't quite get enough. Stick that down. All right, what do you think so far? Y'all have friends that are worth the effort, right? Okay, now we're going to take our Mint Macaron card that we've already done our blending here. We don't really need it here because we're going to put the Soft Sea Foam right there. And we're not going to stamp anything on the inside. We're going to bring the decorative detail in, so I can go ahead and mount this inside. Again, you can do that with liquid glue or your Stampin' Seal, whichever you prefer. And this has the same border. The Soft Sea Foam is the same size that it is on the front. And then we have a teeny tiny border for this. And that's just 1/8 of an inch all the way around the evergreen piece. Let's try to wiggle that over just a teeny bit. That's the lovely part about liquid glue, is that little bit of time you have to move it over if you need to. Kind of get that border even. All right. Now we've got We're going to put a little bit on the inside. So we're going to take, we don't have a whole lot of, I guess we can do an angle. I'm going to cut those stems off. Let's see how we want this to be. If we go this way, if I bring that all the way down, there we go. I like that. Okay. So I'm just, even though that's cut from previously, that looks like it would have to be a reject and we'd have to throw it away. But no, we don't, because we can use that straight edge and put it over against the edge of our cardstock. And it will look like we cut it that way. All right. A little bit of liquid glue all around. I'm not going to use this whole piece, but I can't remember exactly what all I needed to glue. So we're just going to stick it all over. All right. Now, I think that would look awkward if it were just hanging off. So I think what we're going to do is go here, line that up as if it's cut off the bottom there, line those up on the side, and then we'll snip this part right there. Probably be easier to do this before you glue that in. It would be definitely easier to do that. Didn't think of it in time. All right, now let's do a piece of this. We'll probably go more like that on this one. So let's see what we have whole, because we're going to leave room to write our little message inside. And we want these to look like they're, you don't want them to look like they've been snipped off. So just kind of pay attention where you're snipping there so that the part that remains looks like it belongs there. You can see I'm cutting around that part that's not whole, leaving that one whole. And then we'll see if we want to keep this little one up here or if we want to chop it off. I'm going to round that to match that other rounded part. We'll see if this is too much. No, I think we can do that. Isn't that pretty? How simple is that? Maybe we ought to do it at an angle like this, since that one is like that. So it's kind of coming down, features your message more that way. What do you think? Y'all like it angled up like that? Well, if I had the stuff straight in the screen, that would help y'all, wouldn't it? You want it like this, where these are all kind of going up and these are going up? If y'all let me know in the comments and say up or across. Anybody have a, or it could even be down. Up, across, or down? What do you think? Y'all let me know. Across, we've got one across, we've got one up. Anybody else out there? Okay, so not down. So let me show you across one more time. There's kind of a cross. Oh, now we've got it down. Oh, goodness. We've got, okay, we've got two ups, one across, and one down. So let's kind of do in between the up and across. Unless we get another vote in here real quick. Two more for ups. So, all right. We'll go with that. Thank y'all for your input. And of course, whenever y'all create your own card like this, you can do it however you want. And really, it's based on whatever pieces you chop off from the front, what you have left over to play with. Spread that out a little bit. Now, this is not one you'd want to make if you need a quick card in a hurry, but you don't have any stamping. I mean, once you've got the dies cut, you don't have to do all the blending that I did if you need to save a little time. So I think that's kind of in between up and across. And I didn't glue those ends, so we ought to be good to go there. I'm just trying to follow the edge of the cardstock there. And one little dab of glue, and I think we'll have that just about done. So if any of y'all are interested, if you're in the Lubbock area and want to come to my techniques class tomorrow, that's at 2 o'clock. Let me know. I think I have 4 so far for that one. And I think I have 4 for my Monday night class. So I can use 2 more at either of those. And we're on to our last step here. My goodness. We're going to use, I'm going to do the Thinking of You that comes from the Ginkgo set. I think I am. Just find the block. But that is from this Ginkgo branch. We have Sending Hope and Peace, Thinking of You with Sympathy and Friend. And this seems to fit the best. And this is one of the dies that is in that set, the Ginkgo branch die set. Let's move this messy mat out of the way. Don't need that anymore. And I'm covered a new one for you. How about that? Just to look a little better on the air for you. Okay, we're going to move that one out of the way. I'm just going to do the Thinking of You. Oops, smushed a little hard there. We will see if I have a little wet wipe. Don't know where they are. Let me look one more time. We'll make this work. And anytime y'all are interested in a card making experience with me, I would love to have you. I do Crafty Gals nights out or Crafty Gal afternoons out. So I can get a group of you and your friends together and just have a little card making experience at your house or here, either one. And it can be on your schedule that way instead of whatever I've chosen for the year. Okay, we've got Thinking of You. Let me clean that real quickly out of that dark color. So those are a lot of fun. I've had one lady who, well, Margaret has had, she's about to start her 3rd one of these. So she's getting different groups of ladies together. She does something really sweet, and people who might need a little encouragement, or people who have done her a favor or helped her on something, she kind of rewards them and treats them to a class or the Crafty Gals Night Out. Or I have had other ladies who each of the ladies just pays their own way and comes to the Crafty Gals Night Out, and everybody pays the same. You can do it where we can do a kit where y'all can just each buy a kit, and then I help you put a few of those together out of the kit. I can show you alternatives. These could be, we've got some gorgeous kits online now that are online only specials, or they're called a kit collection. So they're not in any catalog, but they're online where you can see them in advance. Or of course, we always have our paper pumpkin kit, which is an awesome monthly craft kit that you get in the mail. And it's a surprise each month. You kind of get a little bit of a clue ahead of time, the month prior, but you don't know exactly what you're going to get until it shows up in the mail, kind of like Cinderella having her little special pumpkin coat show up. That's kind of where they came up with this idea, I think, the Cinderella pumpkins, because it's such a wonderful surprise. And it has everything you need in it to make that kit. Whether it usually makes 9 cards, but sometimes it could be treat bags or treat boxes or whatever. But if you get the kits collection that's online at mycreatewithkelly.com/shop, go there and you can get onto that'll take you to the Stampin' Up site and search for kit collection, and it will pop up your options. Okay, I'm going to cut that right after here. We're going to see if we can get it kind of straight. See how this works. All right, and I'm going to line that up with the edge of the card. Nope, it was not exactly straight, so we can work on that. So I'm just going to go back from the back side. You can see that it wasn't exactly straight, so we're just going to snip that right there. And then I thought it was kind of a fun little touch to take this part that I cut off, which I'm going to have to straighten that up. There we go. I'm going to put it on the inside. I'm just going to glue it down flat. And we had some beautiful bling that was gorgeous with this. Was mint macaron and gold. I can't remember what the set was. That would be beautiful with this if you have any of those. But we're going to use the iridescent rhinestones, I think is what those are called today. Okay, I am lining this up. And I just think that makes a neat little touch on the inside. Isn't that fun? Okay. So just for something different, as if that wrapped around onto the inside. Okay, now let's get us some bling out. And a take a pick tool. See what we have left of these. I am not sure. They're out of their case, so I'm not sure exactly which ones these are, but they are carrying over, I believe, into the new catalog. I would have to look. So, but we've got several choices of bling that would work. So let's see if this big one is too big for right there. If that takes it over, I think it's going to be too, yeah, it's too big. I thought so. Okay, these are kind of bluish and they pick up other colors, so I think these will be beautiful. What do you think of that? Isn't that pretty? Okay, whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate the compliment. Hope y'all are still watching. Hope I didn't mess anything up. I was running my arm across the little mouse pad there. Okay, so we can put a couple more of that bluish color on here. Usually do 3 to 5. We could do one really big one, but I just think those are just really big. Nope, can't do it. And the others have kind of a pinky tone, so we're going to stick with the bluer. Do we want 3 there? Do we want that there? Yeah, I think I kind of want it here. And I like those at the base of the flower there. And just kind of have 3. You want to accentuate your focal point when you're thinking of your embellishments. We probably could have gone even closer here and done that instead of this one. Or we could do 5. What the heck? These are, I'm not sure if they're retiring or not. So let's see what we think of 5. We'll do, that way we have them kind of scattered all this way. Let's see if we, no, I don't think we're going to like that. Okay. Let's see, where do we want this one? Do we want this on a green? We want it up here. What do you think? Top or bottom? Top or bottom? Anybody? Thank you, Felicia. I appreciate it. Glad you like it. I think we'll just stick down here. Oh, we've got a top. Okay, it's going top. Thank you, Kathy. Oh, now we have a top and a bottom. Top, bottom. Do we need both? We could break our own rule and just go ahead. I want to make all of my viewers happy. So there we go. And that's all there is to that. So I used a little wink of Stella. On this one, I used a blender, the blending brush around the edge to kind of make that darker. But I think it kind of shows up maybe a little bit better just with the wink. I like both. So that's that. So we have inside. We'll do inside and outside. How about that? Move all these out of the way. And again, this is the Ginkgo branch dies and Ginkgo branch stamp set. And you'll want to buy those separately. And they are literally, they're on, I believe they're 60% off if they still have them available. So y'all go on and grab them. And my host code is right here at the bottom. I really appreciate it if you would use that TUQGK6K4. Thank you so much for your kind attention, and I appreciate it. Whoops, that's a little close, isn't it? All right. I thank you very much for tuning in. And if y'all have any questions afterward, just send me an email at kelly@createwithkelly.com. And I look forward to seeing you next Saturday for another live. It'll be a surprise because it's still a surprise what we're going to have at Techniques class tomorrow and intermediate class on Monday. Got a lot going on. So I'm going to have a crafty afternoon, and I hope y'all do too. There are a lot of fun times ahead. Thanks again for tuning in and commenting. Have a great one. Bye-bye. Thanks.